So, a new VIX-related fund started trading last week. It's an ETF called MSVX, and I have it here beside me on the screen. If I get out of the way here. Now, what is this, and is it something that you might be interested in? Okay, so MSVX is a volatility ETF that was launched by a group called Little Harbor Advisors, who, when I Google them, appear to be in the same state as I am in Massachusetts. And somebody had asked me online about this, and I did a quick teeny bit of research and realized that they are basing their decisions for this ETF on a product which has been covered before on this show by some friends of the show, those being the Thompson brothers out of Chicago, out of Thompson Capital Management. And let's see if we can pull up their website here for a second and take a look at that. And you will recognize Matt Thompson because he has an awesome presence on Twitter where he's known as Dynamic Vol, but also because of they made a video. I made a video with him right before the Volmageddon that had addressed tail risk in XIV, which if prudent watchers of the show, if you had watched that, it would have given you a heads up to at least be cautious, if not cover your position completely in XIV, to at least be aware of your risk. Right before the Volmageddon, we came on with the show and said, look, the risk is low, but something could happen and this could blow up. And sure enough, it did. So, and I've had Matt and his brother on since then on the show. They are friends of the program. And I hope to have them on concerning this sometime in the future. We have to talk to the lawyers and stuff and see what they're actually allowed to say on an interview and that sort of thing. But I'm hoping to get them on here soon. But this product is a proprietary VIX product. So essentially what it is you give them some of your money and they are going to trade the VIX. And they might be long the VIX, they might be short the VIX. So this is a good strategy if you want to diversify beyond just a sort of a long market strategy. This is not going to track the S&P 500. It's in fact going to be diverse from the S&P 500. And so if we do go on the website for Thompson Capital here, they have something called a volatility dashboard. And what that is it's some proprietary signals that they follow to determine when is a time to be long the VIX and when is a time to be short it. Now, we've seen this before, and here's their Alpha Seeker. Their Alpha Seeker is what I believe what this ETF is modeled on. So it says Alpha Seeker, non-correlated return using VIX-linked ETPs for investors seeking to diversify return sources away from stocks and bonds. So this is a way to truly diversify. It's funny when all those cryptocurrencies came out, there are all these people who they made a bunch of money on crypto by being long Bitcoin. They essentially got lucky. And to them, diversification meant, okay, we're going to take the money from Bitcoin and we're going to buy a whole bunch of other cryptocurrencies with that money. Now, for most people, that didn't work out very well because as the gold rush of crypto came and went, all these smaller cryptocurrencies, when Bitcoin went down, they went down too. So that wasn't really diversified. But here, things are diversified. The quote unquote problem, if there is a problem, it's not really a problem, but for people that are watching this show that are interested in shorting volatility or getting long volatility based on their own analysis, this actually takes it out of your hands and actually is going to put it in someone else's hands. So there's not a huge amount of transparency here as far as what sort of positions they are going to put on at any one time, because the actual way they determine that is proprietary. So So this may not be appropriate for everybody who is watching this right now. However, I know there are a lot of people out there who are interested in diversifying away from just being long the market, and this is a way to do that. And I would, if you're thinking about this sort of ETF, I would actually contact Thompson Capital Management and get more information from them on exactly what their volatility dashboard entails. And as I said, I hope to have them back on the show soon to talk about that. Now, and the other thing that I do remember from other interviews with the Thompson brothers is that typically their products, before this ETF came about, typically their products, you needed a certain level of minimum capital to actually directly invest with them. So this new fund coming out, this new ETF is going to allow people with a lot less capital to get involved, which is definitely a good thing. And I always think it's a good thing to have more products in the volatility space, spread the risk out. So this is exciting. Maybe we can get somebody from LHA in to talk about this too at some point. I did pull up the prospectus, and it says LHA Market State Alpha Seeker ETF seeks to provide positive returns across multiple market cycles that are generally not correlated to the U.S. equity or fixed income markets. And it talks about management fees. There is a little bit of a management fee for this because they are, once again, the fund managers are making the decisions as to when they want to make a move as far as being long or short volatility. And since they are managing it actively, there is a little bit higher management fee than there would be for, say, just an index fund or something like that. Let's see. It says, each day, Thompson Capital's quantitative models and analyses seek to estimate the direction and strength of the U.S. equity market volatility based on the movement of the VIX index, which utilizes real-time prices of options in the S&P 500 to reflect investors' consensus view of the future, 30 days expected stock market volatility, blah, 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 blah. Such estimates are used by the fund's investment advisor to determine the extent to which the fund's exposure to the S&P 500 index and or the VIX index will be long or short or in cash. Based on the direction and strength of signals from Thompson Capital's models, the investment advisors determine on a discretionary basis in which instruments to invest. So if you were going to if you're going to buy this ETF, you're basically you're entrusting some other people to determine the best course of action, and it's this is independent from the S&P 500 or other indices. So, and there may be a history of how well this Alpha Seeker has done in the past from the Thompson brothers, which I don't have in front of me here, but they may have that information on their site. Here we go. So, all right. So this is showing, there's some data here actually from I guess Alpha Seeker has been around for 5 years as a strategy, and they have information from the last 5 years, and it seems that, let's see, so I'll just flash this up here so you can look at it quickly, and I'll just highlight it really quickly for you. So it seems like 2019 was negative 3% return. 2018 was 1.4% return. 2017, 22% return. 2016, 11% return. And 2015, 15% return. And this year so far, which we've only had 3 months, but Alpha Seeker was up 12% while the S&P 500 was down 20%. So definitely crushed the S&P this year. Last year, S&P was up 30%, and this was down 3%. So it didn't do so well last year. But it looks like 2015 they did really well as well. So there you have it. There's some information on this. I also wanted to answer some other viewer questions while I have you here. One question, I had a viewer contact me and say, they're new to trading. They want to learn a little bit more about trading options, and how do they do that? They ask, can I coach them? Can they pay me to coach them? And I explained to them that I don't actually coach people for money, that sort of thing. That's not my I don't offer those services currently, but I'll give them the advice that I would give you, which I thought might be interesting to some people if you're new to options, would be to check out a couple resources. Now, one of them is Tastytrade on YouTube. I'm going to start first with the free resources and then kind of move up in costs a little bit here. So the first one, if you're new to option trading, there are some basic books that are recommended for learning about options trading, and the two basic, like the Bible, is Macmillan, Options as a Strategic Investment. Option, all right. And I'm going to pull that up on the screen here. And I'm going to get out of the way. Wow, has it really been 400 episodes of volatility? Woo, there we go. All right, so Options as a Strategic Investment, Macmillan book. This is like the option trading Bible, and I would recommend it to anybody starting out on options. The other one is Shelley Natenberg, Options, Volatility, and Pricing. Sheldon Natenberg. Okay, so here, this one, Option, Volatility, and Pricing. This is another book that's a must-have for anybody getting started in options. Okay, the next thing I would suggest is going to YouTube and checking out Tastytrade. And there's a whole network. They've got tons of videos on all kinds of things. Option related. There's this Mike and his whiteboard series is very good. Now we have Tastytrade, our friends of the program. We have had them on here before. Check out Tastytrade. If we look here, for example, at Mike and his whiteboard, they're going to go through lots of different option strategies, and they're going to break stuff down statistically and give you all kinds of good information on the basics. Another one that I would recommend checking out is Option Alpha. Great site, and has a lot of free material, but also has education that you pay for, and well worth it. Kirk Duplessis is another friend and a really cool guy. Highly recommend Option Alpha. Definitely worthwhile to check out. Okay, so now if you're in the market to maybe if you're really serious and you want individual coaching, I would go check out Option Pit. Okay, now this is a website. These are ex-SIBO traders. They're active traders still, and Mark Sebastian and Andrew Giovinazzi can help you get going. They offer individual coaching as well as a variety of courses and levels of engagement for you. So, I learned a lot about trading from Andrew when we both worked for the same company long ago, and these guys are the best in the business. And so there you have it. So there's some possible different quote-unquote options for you to learn about trading in the stock option sphere if that's what you're looking to do. All right, so we're coming towards the close of business today, and really nothing has happened. Stuff hasn't moved around at all. It's funny, that ACB I was talking about earlier today has given back a little bit, but really stuff not moving much in the market now. Just kind of sitting there as we move forward today. All right, so please also, just to toot my own horn for a second, You can check out the Facebook VIX group for answers to questions. Now, remember, when you look at the Facebook VIX group, there's going to be people writing stuff on there that, anybody can write whatever they want on there as long as it's, appropriate and whatnot. So when you see messages up there, take it with a grain of salt. A lot of times if someone writes something silly up there, people will come in and gently correct them, which is what we like. It's a teaching and learning spot. So we all know some stuff that other people don't know, and we all don't know some stuff that we need to learn from other people. So let's teach each other. It's a free setup. Once again, that's the Facebook VIX Trade group. And beyond that, we also have a Facebook Options group, which which I will put up in the chat. Fighter for Street. Yes. Don't use too much money. That is true. You're watching Famous Dave. And let me put these in the chat, though, really quick. So here is the VIX group right here. And then let me give you the options group. And the options group is somewhat bigger than the VIX group, but once again, there's people in there all the time who can help you out 24/7 a day. We try to police these as much as we can as far as like spammers and whatnot, but be kind to us, however, because we're working for free. We're volunteers. Everybody's volunteers there, and it's not like run by some business or something. So be kind to us. Sometimes spammers certainly get through. We have several applications every day for these things. So it takes a lot of work just to keep it running. Let's see what we have in the chat. Remember, nobody knows where the VIX or market is going. That is very true, and that becomes more and more true. The more you shorten the time period, the less anyone can know what's going to happen. That's true in the market. That's true in the VIX. So anybody who tells you with certainty where something is going to go tomorrow, you gotta kind of question that. And I would say to you that people who have been active market participants for a long period of time will not tell you, oh, well, this is exactly what's going to happen tomorrow, because they recognize that nobody knows exactly what's going to happen tomorrow. All right, so there you have it. It looks like the market is maybe backing off just a little bit right now as we, it's weird. The NASDAQ's up 37 and S&P is down 8. The Dow Jones, though, seems to be kind of lagging, down 192 right now. The Russell down 7. So let's see. So percentage-wise, Dow is currently down 0.74%, whereas the E-minis down and the SPX down 0.2%, NASDAQ up slightly. So the Dow is what is really the buzzkill today. And if we break that down in the Market Watch and take a look at what's pulling the Dow down here, let's take a look at that. So looks like Merck is down. Looks like Merck's pulling it down. Walmart's pulling it down. Pfizer. Home Depot down 2%. Merck down 2.7%. Procter & Gamble down 2.4%. So we got some of these big Dow names that are pulling stuff lower. And some of this may be like stocks that were doing well. I think Disney was one that they were saying, well, it does well because people are at home and watching like Disney on TV and stuff like that. And so when everybody gets back to work, and as the economy starts to reopen, some of these products don't do as well as they were doing when everybody was at home. I know it's kind of counterintuitive. And John Doe says, slow day in the market today, boring. John Doe, that's a familiar name. I've heard that name before. Hello, David Modell. Welcome. Nice to see you. Nice to see you all. And there we go, into the last hour. So we'll see if anything more exciting than what's happened so far happens. if I were to quickly pull up, all right, so let's see. So this is a little blip on that new fund, the MSVX fund, a little interview that the Thompson brothers did with ETF.com. It says, the fund's managed by brothers Michael and Matthew Thompson of Thompson Capital Management, an LHA subsidiary. They developed a strategy which relies on quantitative models and has previously been available in non-ETF wrappers like separately managed accounts. That's what I was talking about before. You could invest in the strategy before, but you needed to have appropriate account size to have a separately managed account, which I think, don't quote me on this, but I think they said at the time was like a minimum of somewhere around 50 grand. But the good thing is now with this ETF, you don't need to have that minimum to get involved. So that's exciting. I hope 1 million people join this, and my friends do well on it. I hope everybody does well on it. I hope the fund does well. I hope my buddies do well. And I hope you out there do well in whatever you're trading today. And we go into the close. In a half an hour, we have the close. So good luck on the close. I'll see you shortly. Thanks for watching the Short Vol Show live. And let's see if I can pull up a little closing ditty for you here. Let's see what we got here. Here we go. How about this?
You're watching Famous. Yeah.